everybody, Melissa Sorrentino here. Sorry about that adjustment. Okay, so my next two bullet points I'm going to just group together. I think they go together well, and they're both pretty simple. One is, okay, so we already said lead with your strongest attribute for the audition. We said find security in your insecurities. And the third and fourth tip for your acting auditions is this: pre-accept both consequences. Pre-accept both consequences. What do I mean by that? When you go to an audition, it's very, and this would apply to, anything. Maybe you're going to a bank to try to get a loan. Maybe you're going on a date and you're not sure how that's going to work out. Maybe you're going into a job interview. Anything where, you have a result that obviously it's like there's like a kind of a win or a loss that are available that might be the outcome of the thing. Pre-accepting both consequences. Not I'm okay if I don't, and you're just focusing on don't. That's not helpful. But if you're totally focused on if you're okay if you do win the thing, if you get the thing, then you're really possibly setting yourself up for a potential fall. But there's a psychological thing, you guys, that happens, and it actually informs the way you perform at the audition. So that's why it's important to do this not after the audition, but before the audition. It relieves a lot of the stress and tension and allows you to just get in a better mind state for the actual audition itself. Okay? If I already accept that if I get the thing, I'll be okay, and if I don't get the thing, I'll be okay, I can come in with a much more neutral, relaxed, psychological state if the stakes aren't so high for getting the darn thing. Even if you want it, I challenge you to think of something about it that would suck. And that's the way that you can get your mind to think about it as like a win-win instead of a lose-lose or a win-loss, right? So if you look at it, obviously getting the job has enough wins to it. If it doesn't have any wins to it, don't go to the audition. Let someone else have the job, because if you fucking hate the job, there's no reason to do it. And if you don't plan on taking it, and it's just for audition experience, then, who cares? That's a moot point. So, one of the ways to actually wrap your mind around the win-loss is look at if I don't get this, what would be great about that? And for me, often it's something as simple as this. And, if you're, if you're like a believer in God or a higher power of any sort, you can use this. And so what I do is I often just say, hey, if I get this job, it would be great. But if I don't get it, then that just means that there's something else that God has planned for me that I don't know about. Or that, it's just something about not getting this job is going to open a different opportunity for me. Or maybe there was something about the job that was going to inevitably suck, and, I'm being sort of like saved from a car accident of that, that thing, whatever the thing that would suck, or, So I don't know how the universe is lining up. And if you're a fate person, that works very well. But if you're not a fate person, you don't need that. You don't need to necessarily believe what, I or someone else believes. Here's just something that's very, very simple. It's just a simple brain connect. Think of something that would suck. Just go like, I'd love to get that job on that commercial, but it is a nighttime shoot and it'll probably be fucking cold. Just easy. And that way, if you don't get the job, you can go, well, at least I don't have to be freezing cold. And then make sure you do something nice and warm that night. So you're like, yay, win, or think of like, this is a great job, but it doesn't really pay that much. So, if I don't get it, it's not like it paid that much. Who cares? Maybe I'll get something else that day that brings more money into my bank account. If I don't do this, and think of maybe something else you want to even do. I'm trying to keep from saying anything personal because I really don't want to share a couple of the thoughts that I have personally at this point right now publicly. But there just could be something, maybe there's something that you want to do. Maybe you want to take a trip, and you're like, well, if I book this job, or if I get this job, or if this whole entire business concept I have that I'm trying to get my business loan for pans out, the thing that'll suck about that is I'm probably not going to get to go on my vacation later or this year or whatever, you know, or I'm going to miss that birthday party that's on the day that this thing shoots, if it's an audition for a shoot. So just something, anything. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I think you guys can use your own brains and think of things for yourself. But seriously, I think it's very helpful to think of something about the job that would suck. And that way you have a win within your loss. Okay, so accept both consequences. It's very helpful. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to put in this bullet point is I want to say, I just want to reiterate, trust that you did your best, and do that immediately after the audition, but also do it before the audition. All 5 of these things are things that I say get mentally prepped for before the audition, and that's going to give you much more ammo and juice to really rock out the audition itself. And if you already pre-tell yourself, I full well know and believe that I will do my best. If I'm nervous, if I shit my pants, if I go up and I can't remember somebody's name that's important, if I, forget all the words to the song I'm going to sing, if I forget my monologue, if I fart, if I run late, if I'm frazzled, if my hair looks like shit, if I have a zit, if I have cramps, whatever, okay? If I forget my resume, whatever, anything. No matter what it is, aren't you going to do your best? If you can't find a parking space, aren't you going to drive around until you find one? If you have to fart, aren't you going to do your best trying to hold your fart in? You know what I'm saying? So whatever the thing is, just already pre-know that you are going to do your best. You know that about yourself. You're a fucking professional, man. You're going to do the best you can. And your best is probably going to be better in a year than it is today. And in 5 years, and when you're middle-aged and doing YouTube channel videos, you're going to be like, you know what? I actually don't even care. That's how much how less nervous I am about a job. Is I walk in and I'm like, certainly I hope it works out. It's worth my time to show up for a thing, but I'm not going to waste my time if it's something I don't want to do. These are all things that you can start generating now so that your ease of mind and your peacefulness becomes so deeply internalized in you that it actually reads into the value of your audition. Okay? So remember, the 2 bullet points for today were this: pre-accept both consequences, getting the job and not getting the job. Totally okay either way, it's all good. And then the next one is trust that you're going to do your best, and then immediately after, give yourself the gift of trusting that you did your best. And I did my best with this video. Okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.